Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am doing a little check in for the Libra energies who happen to wander across this channel. Right now, I'm just clearing the cards and getting ready to put them down, making room on these cards for your guys' collective Libra energy. It is a Saturday here, all kinds of traffic going by. I'm not sure if you can hear that, if that's picking up on the microphone. Neighbors are home upstairs watching movies, so there can be random sounds that show up. A lot of times, those random sounds end up being important to the reading if you can catch them and figure out what their symbolism might be. Toya, Ms. Libra, hello, hello, welcome. Glad you're here, my dear. How are you today? Okay, so we've got our cards cleared. Let's take a peek and see what comes up. I may have to move this camera back a little bit to make room for cards. We'll see. Glad to hear that you're good. I'm fantastic. I count any day that I wake up and I'm alive and I'm breathing. That's a good day. So many options about what to do that are available at that point, you know? Yeah, let's move this camera back a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. All right, now I've got room for all my cards. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's jump in. This is just a general quick energy reading. It's not going to be names, addresses, serial numbers, anything like that. We're just going to jump in and get some quick bangs on what's going on in work and your environment, things like that. And yeah, let's just have fun with it. So first thing I'm looking at, Libras, is going to be about your environment. And your environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested, usually home. Every once in a while, it'll show up as the gym, work, school, etc. So keep that in mind. We want to be open about where it could be showing up on the table. But what I'm seeing is that we've got a lot of happiness going on in the environment. It looks like you have reached some sort of level or target of happiness. So this could be that you've got a relationship that has upgraded, or maybe you're getting along better with parents or with children. But something is going on in your environment where there's happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment has come to a level that you're happy with. Next, we are looking at your subconscious leanings, Libras. We do have an Ace of Cups showing up in reverse for your subconscious leanings. This tells me, I think that you guys, when I feel into this, what I feel is, what I sense is, how about if we say that? What's going on here is that you're really worried about your impression on somebody. I think you're afraid that somebody has you sort of on a pedestal. They're expecting more from you than what you actually are or what you actually can give, or at least that's your worry. And your subconscious is working on, how can I get this situation under control where this person doesn't have me on a pedestal and at the same time they're not incredibly disappointed that I don't fit up on that pedestal. So that's where your subconscious leanings are right now. Next thing that we're looking at, Libra, Libra, Libras. If I can pick up the card, I'll look at it. Here we go. Okay, next thing I'm looking at talks to me about your learning style and also your communication style during this time frame. So, learning style, what do we have? There is some learning that you're picking up just by doing. You're just jumping in and saying, okay, let me try this and see what happens. And you're learning some things like that. There are other things that you're focused on learning about because they make you happy, happy, happy. And there's also something in your experience right now that you're learning because you feel like it makes you more valuable to people around you, to your employer, to your friends, to whatever. So some type of, I don't know if that's necessarily a trade, but something that makes you more valuable to people around you. Now, your communication style is very much kind of a even Steven thing here. So I feel like the information that you're putting out is equivalent to the information that you're receiving back. I'm not sure if you're doing that on a conscious level or if that's something that you're just subconsciously doing. So there is communication happening and it's valuable communication, but it's very much at a reciprocal level. Okay. So we like reciprocal. That's good. Next, we're looking at work, 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 work. So for most of you, work is going to be how you make your living. Every once in a while, though, it does show up as what you do to improve, or I mean, excuse me, what you do to feel productive in your family, your tribe, or your community. So what I have for work is the Ten of Wands, which tells me that you're picking up some new responsibilities when it comes to work. So could be getting receiving new responsibilities at the job site. Could be that you're deciding, you know what, I want to do this remodel on my kitchen, and obviously that's going to take some work. Could even be picking up a volunteer gig and doing some type of volunteer work, but some type of work, you're picking up new responsibilities and whatever work we're looking at here for this time frame, which I'm going to say is about a week-ish. Let's say a week-ish. Time is a little bit more fluid for spirit than it is for us. All right, let's look at that part of your personality which is being grown or expanded right now. Does look to me like there's somebody that you're interacting with who can be, shall we say, not so happy. And I think that where you're growing and expanding is in figuring out how to interact with that person, um, and still, interact with that person in a balanced way. Interact with that person, so that you're still standing up for the needs that you need to stand up for, but also that you're not just setting this person off to a whole new level as you're standing up for those things you need to stand up for. So that's where you're learning and you're growing right now. Now, the next two cards work together like hand and glove. So I'm actually going to explain them before I talk about the interpretation that I'm seeing. So the first card that we're going to talk about is going to be about something that you stand up for. Usually, this is going to be somebody has come to you and said they've either whined and cried and complained like a little baby, or they've asked you to explain something, or maybe they've even all out confronted you. Somewhere on that spectrum, they have come to you and made you at least verbalize some type of defense of this situation or person. Okay. Then the next card we're going to look at is that person who came to you and how they feel after your interaction. Okay. So, what we have showing up that you're standing up for is this idea that there's something that happened that didn't make you happy, didn't make you feel satisfied. In fact, it made you feel more restless, more chomping at the bit for something that you wanted to do that would make you feel satisfied. It's almost a case of, well, now I know what I don't want, so now I know what I do want, that type of thing. And so that's what you're standing up for, is this idea that, this was not it. And something else is. And so how this other person feels that was talking to you about this after you have your conversation or your interaction is they're basically feeling like mm, they're questioning how much you actually like this person. Like, do you have feelings for this person? Do you care about this person? If it's romantic, it's more of, do you have romantic feelings? If it's somebody else in your personal life, like a family member or something, they could be wondering, well, do they even care about me? Are they more focused on whatever it is they want to accomplish here? So they're questioning really your loyalty and, if you even have feelings for them, whether they're romantic or otherwise. Maybe I should say whether you care about them. All right. So let's see. The next thing that we're looking at as we go through this life cycle, and this may or may not have happened, most of this other stuff will have. This is going to be where we get to things that, depending where you are in your life cycle, this is going to impact whether you recognize this or not yet. So, lesson or experience of the life cycle, we see you basically taking a break. And this is one of those breaks that is not, this isn't just you saying, oh, I'm going to take a vacation, or calling in and saying, I'm taking a mental health day. This is more something is happening that is outside of you that's influencing your experience and causing you to take basically some downtime where you're not doing everything you would normally be doing. And as you're taking that downtime, you're getting a new perspective on things. So you're seeing things in a different way, which is helping you to understand a little bit more about how you want to be interacting in certain situations in your life. You may be changing how you're interacting with certain situations in your life after this forced downtime is over. Now, at the same time that we see this forced downtime happening, or this downtime that's happening because of something outside of our experience, outside of our control, I should say. At the same time, I do see you walking back into a situation that you walked away from before, because before it was leaving you feeling depleted or exhausted. I'm assuming if you're walking back that you're expecting it's not going to leave you depleted or exhausted this time, that you've got some kind of good reason to be walking into that. But we do see you walking into that, and I'm going to wish you the best with that. Now, the next thing that's happening really at the same time that you're doing that is there's a lot of communication. And this is at the same time that you've got the downtime and that you're walking back into this other thing. There's a lot of information going back and forth. This could be verbal, this could be text messages going back and forth, could be emails going back and forth, WhatsApp, things like that. This could be short digital messages going back and forth, most likely. But there's a lot of communication, a lot to keep up with. And then once we get to the end of this little time frame that we're looking at for this video, what we see is you coming together with some kind of collaboration. And I think that this ties into whatever it is you're walking back towards. We see you coming together and collaborating with somebody else on a project and moving that forward in a productive way after you've had your time where you had time to not do everything you normally would and sort of think through some of the situations in your life. So that's what we've got. I hope that you guys find that helpful. And of course, thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to share with any other Libras who might benefit from this reading. And of course, I'm also available for private readings if you want those. Everybody have a fantastic day. Peace out.